Over 1,000 years ago, in the year 2000, there was a man, another man, and a woman, all living in the same house. And back then, the phones, they were not smart. They were fucking dumb. Dumb phone. And the phones, they had to be connected to the homes. They were home phones. They couldn't get out. They were stuck. They were stuck on a cord. Yep. In some houses, when there was many rooms inside of it, when it was big, and there were many people inside the house, there was 1, 2, 3, even 4 phones, maybe more. And each important room had its own phone. There was a phone in the kitchen. There was one in the lounge. There was one in the bedroom. Another one in another bedroom. And so on. And when you took the phone and you went to dial a number, it occupied the other phones. So, when you had one phone open and the other guy in the other room with the phone, he would take the phone and pick it up. You could talk through the phone inside the house. All right? And you couldn't dial another number while someone else was on the phone. There was only one line. So, this is the basic story, the base of the story. You have to understand how those fucking phones worked. All right? Now, here it goes. One day, the phone rings. And the number one man, he picks up the phone. Let's call him Eddie. Eddie. Eddie picks up the phone. Hello? And the other person on the other side who was calling, she hung up. I don't know why. Maybe it was a wrong number. So, he was like, hello, hello, and nobody was responding. But he couldn't hear anything yet. The phone wasn't like doing, it was doing that back then when people hung up, but it took a few seconds before it did it. So it was just silent. Hello? Hello? And unbeknownst to him, on the first floor, underneath him, the woman, let's call her, I don't know, Sophia. Yeah, Eddie and Sophia. Sophia picked up the phone because she had heard it ring. But she was too late because she was, I don't know, doing stuff with her hair, women. They always mess around with their hair. She picked up the phone, but she was too late. She came in later than Eddie. But she picked up the phone like maybe 4 seconds after Eddie. And when you pick up the phone, all right, when you're the second person to pick up the phone, you don't get to hear the noise that the phone does when someone hangs up. So, Eddie says, hello? Hello? And Sophia, she's like, hello? And Eddie, he's confused. He says, yeah, who do you want to talk to? And Sophia, she says, well, you're the one who called me. And Eddie says, no, I didn't. You did. What? You called me. I just heard the phone ring. I picked it up. What are you talking about, woman? Are you going crazy or what? You just called me. Hey, listen, you. Fuck you. I'm gonna scream at you now. What? I'm gonna scream at you. Oh my God, you're screaming at me. I'm gonna up the phone. Fuck you. And she hangs up the phone. And the other guy, Eddie, is like, what the fuck was that? Some crazy woman just called me, and she began insulting me, yelling at me. What kind of mad world do we live in? And Sophia, she also hung up the phone. In the floor below, she says, what the fuck was that? That was crazy man calling me. He began to yell at me. Oh my God, I'm gonna call the cops. She doesn't call the cops, of course. She calmed down because there was a second guy inside the house. Let's call him, I don't know. Let's call him Derek. Derek Jeter. Yeah, it was Derek Jeter. He was inside the house. I don't know why. Maybe it was his house. And he sees Sophia crying. And she's out of her mind because she had a crazy man calling her and yelling at her. And Derek asks, what happened? What did he say? And she tells the whole story between sobbing and, women things. Derek says, well, if he calls again, I'm going to tell him not to call again. I'm going to yell at him. And I'm going to be mad at him. And he's going to be scared. All right? And if that doesn't do anything, we're going to call cops. So, Sophia, she goes to sleep like all women do. Women, they go to sleep. And Derek, he goes upstairs. And he sees Eddie. Eddie comes to him. He says, Derek Jeter, someone just called me. A crazy woman who was yelling at me. She insulted me, so I yelled back at her, and I insulted her, I think. I don't remember, but it was very violent. And Derek, he knows everything now, and he's laughing. He says, you don't know who called you? It was Sophia. Well, actually, it wasn't. It was some other guy. We don't know who it was because he hung up the phone. You ended up talking to each other. You idiot. And then, Derek Jeter, he went on to play some baseball game, I guess. That's the end of the story.